Prince of Persia, the game series by Ubisoft which was once immensely popular. And it was way ahead of its time because it featured something which other game developers were not doing. It featured history mixed with time travel. It was a unique take on time traveling because it was the first time that we saw a historical character time traveling from one point to another. The game became widely popular for this concept and it was regarded as the best games of that time. But what went wrong? What happened to that once massively popular franchise and why nobody is talking about it? In this video, we will talk about just that. So without wasting any more of your precious time, let's get into the video. It all began in 2003, the year when the first Prince of Persia game was released by Ubisoft. It was named Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. The game follows the story of an unnamed prince whose father, after looting an ancient city in India, finds an hourglass of time combined with the dagger of time. Both of these artifacts were said to be ancient with the abilities to manipulate time itself. But because of the vizier, they opened the hourglass and released the sands of time, which resulted in the whole Persian army along with Prince's father becoming sand monster. The whole plot of the game revolves around Prince preventing the events that caused this calamity to happen in the first place. The game was heavily praised for its unique gameplay, mechanics, and story overall, making it one of the best games of 2003. As a matter of fact, this game sold approximately 2.4 million plus copies on the year of its release, making it one of the most popular games from Ubisoft at that time. Fans loved and praised this game for its unique and fresh take on the gaming industry. It was the first time that a game like this was being developed and people were absolutely loving it. Keeping in view this good response from fans and gamers, Ubisoft decided to make a sequel to this game which was known as Prince of Persia: Warrior Within. The next entry in the Prince of Persia franchise. It was released approximately a year after the release of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. It was a much darker take on the story of Prince. The story of this game deals with the after effects of Sands of Time, where after resetting the timeline, Prince is being chased by the Dahaka, the Guardian of Time. He is after Prince because Prince prevented his destiny by resetting the timeline, and in order to protect himself and prevent his death by the hands of Dahaka, he travels to the Island of Time, where the Sands of Time were created in the first place. The whole plot of the game was heavily praised by players and is considered as one of the best storylines by Ubisoft. The gameplay, the boss battles, and the soundtrack of the game made it absolutely phenomenal. The game was praised even more than the previous title. The game became so popular that it sold approximately 1.9 million copies in its debut month, which was way higher at that time. Ubisoft was not stopping with Prince of Persia and it seemed like this game series was going to be much better in the future. The gameplay was heavily upgraded as compared to Sands of Time with some new mechanics added. Contrary to the previous game, here you can actually time travel from past to present. The story of the game is so well written with multiple endings that will force the players to replay the game one more time in order to see what the other outcome is. Keeping in view the magnificent response from the fans, Ubisoft decided to make another sequel, which was Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. The third entry in this massive franchise was Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. The game takes place right after where Warrior Within ended, where Prince is now finally free from the curse of Dahaka and is returning to his homeland, Babylon, with Kailina, the Empress of Time. As he's returning, he observes that since he resetted the whole timeline, his kingdom is being attacked by the same vizier that we met in the Sands of Time video game. And since Prince rebooted the whole timeline, so nobody remembers what happened in the previous two games except Prince himself. All of the events from the previous two games again takes place when Vizier murders Kailina, releasing the sands once again, hence repeating the events that happened in the previous two games. And so Prince's journey again continues in preventing the sands from releasing ever again. The game deals with an important aspect which many people tend to forget. It's that no matter how hard you try, you can never escape your fate or your destiny. Because from this game we learn that Prince tried his best to prevent his fate in the first two games, but things happened to repeat one way or another. His efforts to prevent his own death led to the destruction of his homeland and kingdom, which is a thing we rarely see in games. The game introduced us to the darker side of Prince, which was infected by the sands of time. Because since he has no medallion to protect himself from the sands, he got corrupted by the sands itself. And so the game was heavily praised for its gameplay, new mechanics, new fighting mechanics, a load of new boss battles, and many more things that it offered. Despite all of that, this game sold only 1.5 million copies within 1 month of its release. It was less than the previous two games for sure, but still it managed to earn quite some money. But after this game, the developers did not feel the need of creating another sequel for Prince, because the whole story of sand monsters and Prince preventing his fate was too overused. And we also got to know that the story that Prince was telling in the beginning of the first game was from the end of this game. And after this, no Prince of Persia game was released for the next 3 years. About 3 years after the release of The Two Thrones, Ubisoft rebooted the whole Prince of Persia franchise in 2008. The game that they released then was purely new with new iterations of previously known characters. The gameplay was changed from a more linear style to semi-open world, where now you can explore different locations on the map freely without any restriction. The design and the voice actor for Prince was also changed. Now, Prince had a metal gauntlet with a turban on his head, making his design more Middle Eastern. Despite Ubisoft's best effort to make this game more unique and different from the previous two games, they failed miserably, and fans absolutely hated it for its new gameplay and design. The game received mixed reviews from fans, and keeping in view all of that, Ubisoft decided to continue the story of the old Prince of Persia games. And they made a prequel named Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands focused on the story of young Prince, before the events of Warrior Within and after the events of the Sands of Time. This game focused on Prince's brother and Prince himself. The game was not focused much on the story side, but instead it was heavily focused on the gameplay side. Contrary to the previous 3 games, you can only wield one sword and there wasn't any sort of dagger that you can wield. Throughout the story of the game, Prince can unlock new abilities which involve water manipulation and time manipulation. Although the game focused heavily on level design and the gameplay, but it didn't focus much on combat. The combat of the game didn't have any depth and it was just hack and slash, with you repeating the same moves over and over again. Because of this, the game wasn't heavily praised by the fans and it received poor reviews from fans and critics, which resulted in this game selling a lesser number of copies than the previous 3 games in the franchise. And because of this, Ubisoft decided to close any plans regarding this franchise. And as a result, Prince of Persia was lost in time forever. There are several reasons why this franchise was cancelled, and let's take a look at all of them. The first reason being that after Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones, Ubisoft was more focused on visiting the history of Prince and how he got to know his awesome parkour and combat skills. For that purpose, Ubisoft initially decided to make a Prince of Persia prequel named Prince of Persia: The Assassins. This game could have originally let us control some assassins who were given the duty to protect Prince as he was a kid. But during development, the developers changed their idea and turned this game into a whole franchise which we now know as Assassin's Creed. And when Assassin's Creed was first released, it gained worldwide popularity for its characters, story, and gameplay. Keeping in view the good response from Assassin's Creed 1, Ubisoft decided to scrap all of Prince of Persia projects and release Assassin's Creed 2, which turned out to be an even bigger success than the previous Assassin's Creed 1 video game. So Ubisoft kept on making Assassin's Creed games and everybody forgot about the Prince of Persia games. But Ubisoft is now again focused on Prince of Persia franchise. With the recent release of Prince of Persia The Lost Crown, the franchise has another chance of getting back. This game has received positive response from both fans and critics, and this proves that the Prince of Persia franchise has another chance of getting back. So not everything is lost. And that was pretty much it for this video. We hope that you guys loved this video. If you did, then be sure to let us know in the comments section below. We read each and every comment of yours as it helps us know your intentions and thoughts. Also, let us know that which Prince of Persia game was the one that you first played. We hope to see you in another interesting and amazing video. Till then, take care and goodbye.